Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. First and foremost, happy Sunday wherever you are around the world. I apologize, I haven't been consistent enough on all these updates. There does come a time, within a year where I do kind of, need a little bit of a break. And, this is that time. The weather's getting nice. And, I would strongly suggest, even though, the market is starting to heat up, I would strongly suggest you guys, go touch some grass, have some good time because markets are going nowhere. But, we're back on schedule from today on. Every single day updates are back, and if you want to see more updates on other coins, do let me know in the comments down below. But let's take a look at what's happening with XRP. A lot has happened since our last update, which was about 3 days back. XRP is one of the very few coins that's still remaining within the green, up 3% over the last 1 week. It's up 9.5%, and of course on the monthly time frame, nothing too crazy, up about 2.4%. But what a lot of people are going to forget is this is one of the largest market valuations coin. A lot of other coins, you might be looking at that are pumping. Remember, their valuation are much lower than XRP's valuation. And, XRP has held its ground much better than some of these coins that are already moving up, considering, the valuation standpoint. But let's take a look at what's happening with the price. Before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer for everyone. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, as of now, the price of XRP is at a staggering $2.27, which is amazing in my opinion. And the in Bitcoin comparative side of things, up 3.7%, valuation at $132.6 billion. And the 24-hour trading volume at about 3.7 billion. But let's take a look at this, guys. Some major news has, of course, come out today. You can see, the SEC approved ProShares Trust XRP ETF for a public launch on April 30th, which is just 4 days away from where we are. So you can see, clarification, this is not a spot ETF, but likely a future-based one. Spot ETFs directly hold the underlying assets, meaning, they actually hold XRP native token and have a direct price correlation. Futures-based ETFs track XRP's futures, contracts rather than hold the token directly. But still, forget about whether or not it's a spot one or not. It's the right move in the right direction. Who approved it? Look at that. Who has approved it? SEC has approved this. This is a major step in the right direction. A lot of people I know are just going to come out and start commenting about, oh, it's not a spot ETF. This is ridiculous. But let's take a look at the bigger picture, right? This is move in the right direction, and we need to be aware of that. Moving forward, President Trump says, when tariffs cut in, many people's income taxes will be substantially reduced, maybe even completely eliminated. So let's kind of track back, to a few months back, I would say 2 months back, as Donald Trump was, new to the president role once again. Obviously, this is his second term, but, as he was obviously taking over once again, this is something, we were discussing. A lot of people were talking about, wait, how does it make sense? How is the country even supposed to run if they eliminate eliminate capital gain tax on, cryptos that are based in the U.S.? Again, those are rumors right now, nothing confirmed. And of course, reducing income tax. But remember, it all makes sense if you're going to be raising tariffs and, obviously earning money off of those, taxes that you were obviously getting paid by these major corporations, then guess what? This is where the reduction kind of makes sense. And so far, whatever we've discussed, it has, made sense. So let's see what happens. It's still a long ways to go. We're still in the very early stages. But yeah, very good stuff, of course. But look at this, the crypto fear and greed index is at 61 today, up from 37 last week. Are you feeling bullish or staying cautious for the week ahead? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Market slowly but surely turning back into the excitement, greed zone. Again, if you look at it from pretty much, I would say the last 2.5 months, we have seen, market pretty much in the fear zone. So is this really the start to, that reversal? Is the price of Bitcoin really going to follow the M2 money supply? Seems like it is, but we'll see what happens. You can see, yes, industry leaders believe that our RLUSD may shift crypto market dynamics by direct competing with USDT and USDC, and I think it's already doing that. Remember, USDT, there's been a lot of questions whether or not there is even a reserve for that stable coin, and this is where all those worries are eliminated when you talk about RLUSD, stable coin that is regulatory compliant and has the approval from the regulators. Just one step in, again, a perfect direction. And as XRP ledger starts being used more and more and being incorporated, I think it just gets RLUSD's overall demand even higher. So amazing stuff, of course. And look at this. This might have gotten a lot of people talking. You can see Ripple president Monica Long says Ripple has no plans to public in 2025, highlighting at 11.3 billion valuation after share buyback. So pretty much Brad Gerlinghouse has said this, but now Monica Long also come out and has said this, that they have no plans. And even though this might be not something that a lot of people want to hear, you want to take a look at what's happening rather than having everything happen at once. It's better they move slowly and strategically. What I mean by that is focus on, obviously the SEC lawsuit is now over, but now focus on having an ETF approval, which of course is going to bring in major amounts of inflows of capital. And on top of that, maybe once you start seeing the ETF inflows coming in, that hype kind of slowing down, then you go public. So I think that's how you strategically move, not just come in, all right, the SEC lawsuit's over, let's go public now, let's do everything. No, you got to move strategically, and I think it is a good decision that they don't do this. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but let's take a look at what's happening with the price. So obviously, we're in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual due to the fact that CME futures are closed. If you're looking at the dominant 64.27%, if you're looking at BTC, still remaining within the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. This marks almost a few days since we've been reclaiming and actually staying within the 23.6, which is always amazing to see. I'm sure no one's really complaining. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, I'm liking what I'm seeing here, but let's take a look at what's happening with XRP's price, which is showing a lot of positive strength. And despite dominance being so high, XRP is showing strength. What I mean by that is, take a look at it. Just a few hours ago, we did come down to 216, and then you could see pretty much retested $2.29, a level that we haven't retested since the 23rd of April. You want to see this resistance breaking out. I've spoken to you guys about this quite some time on the channel. If this breaks out, I really think we start retesting March 26 levels, and of course the 23.6. And considering where the price of XRP is sitting right now with the way dominance is sitting, I'm very impressed. Let me know down below what you guys think. Love each and every one of you guys. We'll see you later. I've been Crypto ZX, and peace out.